All right. We are back for another open court discussion live in the Counselor's Corner. I'm your host, David Lorenzo Glover, aka the Controversial Counselor. Joining me is my co-host, the Big Bad Wolf, Herb Lewis.
Know how tonight, people?
Tonight, Monday, February 19th, we have a very special guest, Karan DuBois, who will be joining us to share his story about his journey to the ABA, the new professional basketball team, the Buffalo Extreme. The Extremes are currently ranked seventh in the nation and getting ready to close out the basketball regular season and march on to the playoffs. Well, let me tell you a little bit about Karan. Well, first and foremost, he's my nephew. Um, he's a recent graduate of SUNY Canton, where he went on to receive degrees in individual studies along bachelor's with his bachelor's in health and fitness promotion. While at Canton, he captained the men's basketball team for 3 years and went on to be the fourth all-time leading scorer with 1,200 total points. A three-time NAC conference selection, along with the NAC conference championship in 2020. Currently, Karan is working as a substitute teacher at Niagara Falls High School while also playing pro ball for the new ABA team here in Buffalo, the Buffalo Extreme. His goal as a professional basketball player is to have the opportunity to play basketball for as long as he can at the highest level possible, rather that be the NBA, G League, and even overseas. As a professional in the workforce, he plans to go back to school eventually and get his doctorate or physical therapy or his master's in physical education and become a gym teacher. So everybody, please hit that like button, and share our video. And don't forget to tell a friend or a family member to subscribe to the YouTube channel, The Controversial Counselor. So here we are, good people. Monday, President's Day. Got a special guest. What's going on, Herb? Okay.
Man, it's been quiet, but I think, can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay. It's been quiet, man, on my front, just keeping warm. Keeping warm. Mother Nature has decided to play cruel games on us, so it's back to hibernation mode for me. But man, everything's pretty much steady, man. So it is what it is.
All right. And welcome, Karan, to the Counselor's Corner. How you doing?
I'm good, Unc. How you? What's up, Herb? I'm excited to be on the show.
I appreciate it.
Good, man.
Appreciate it.
Good. Yep.
So, man, things have been heating up. I see you guys have climbed to number seven in the nation, so, and you're one of the top scorers on the team. But man, I look forward. During this time, I get excited. March Madness is about to kick in. Then in April, the NBA playoffs. So this is an exciting time for people that like the hoop game. So I look forward to definitely seeing the progress that you guys are going to make. Especially, I picked up another family member, Taylor Sanders. So I think that's going to be a good pickup. But we're
Sure.
going to get in. I'm going to probably ask you a question, then we'll chime in, give our feedback, and then Herb asks you a question. So we'll do it like that. We'll probably run the show for about an hour. I mean, but then again, sometimes we think it's going to be an hour, then we just be talking.
Sure. Let's do it.
So let me ask you this. What made you start playing basketball when there's so many other different sports? I know you multi-talented in sports, but you end up, I guess, sticking it out with basketball. So, but if, in your recollection, what made you start playing basketball?
Honestly, that's a good question. I don't know. Like you said, for a long time, I was big on basketball and baseball. But when I got to high school, baseball became a little political. Like I knew I can play, but the dudes on the team, their parents was in the school district. I feel like there's a lot of favoritism, so it wasn't that fun to me. Basketball is like here I'm playing with my, like you said, Taylor. That's family. Um, like other people that I grew up playing with. Like them kids I was playing baseball with, I was really used to them. Basketball was people I grew up playing with from the Boys and Girls Club, the YMCA, all them type of things. So it was just kind of more fun to me, like I don't know, traveling and just like I said, playing with my people that I actually grew up with, from grammar school to high school. I don't know, I just find more joy in it. And it's crazy because personally, sometimes I think I should have kept playing baseball for that reason, like with me being the only minority on the team. But like I said, I just kind of found more joy in playing basketball as I got older.
And I can remember, and I always pull up that picture when I do little clips of you with you being. You was just about as round as a basketball, but you would carry around two basketballs at a time, and you were about 1 or 2 years old. And I remember you coming over to the house and always had these basketballs, and you had to take them everywhere you went. You had to sleep. You slept with them when you went to Tops or whatever. You always had these basketball. They ain't had no handle or whatever, but you had these basketballs. But I thought that was always that was a telling tale right there for a little young kid, a toddler, to be carrying around not little basketballs, like real regulation basketballs that grown people, the regulation basketballs.
It's crazy now because I always keep this ball with me. Like if I'm in bed, I got a ring in my room. I keep this ball near me. I shoot around the rim, whatever. So I always got a ball with me. I mean, I don't know. It's just second nature. Like that's why it's been around for so long. So I'm kind of just used to that. That's all I really know.
Right. Let me give a few shout outs. I see your granny Grace Glover's on here. What's up, Big Shank? Delcine Thompson Mackey. Thanks for joining us tonight in the Counselor's Corner, and everybody to come in, keep hitting that like and share button. Herb, you got any questions so far?
Uh, um, Not outside of that. There's a lot of people, excluding yourself, who want to get on the path that you're on. What would you tell them the number one thing is that they would have to do?
I think just staying focused. Like for a lot of my time growing up in Niagara Falls, I wasn't really around too much. Like I knew what I wanted. So just kind of just keeping a clear head on their shoulders. And realizing that's really what they want. Like me growing up, obviously I didn't go D1 or to the NBA, but I knew like that's what something I wanted to do. So I made that my name. No, my number one priority was to take care of school and to play basketball. And then luckily, it got me to where it got me. I went to college. I'm playing pro, so I feel like I did the right thing. So that's kind of advice that I give them. Is just if you want to play basketball, make that the number one priority. Stay in the gym, keep getting better, and then you never know what can happen.
Right. All right. And that's true. And I can imagine and what's going on. I think your pops just popped in. What's going on, Josh DuBois? Thanks for joining us. And you said a key thing: staying focused. And I think growing up in our era, me and Herb's era, that's what we did. Like in this generation where so many people are playing video games and they in this la la land, we were out there playing all day long. We were trying to mine courts, and we we didn't care. We didn't care if it was a court, we seen a rim. We didn't have to live there. Didn't know nobody who lived there, and we would have a basketball. We would just start playing, just shooting on somebody else's backyard rim, and at the time it was hard to kind of find good rims outside to play in,
Yeah.
and but we would always be searching and would play all day and would stay locked in, and you always had to have people like the great Mike Starks. From Niagara Falls, Lacelle. He always was the type. He would come get me, like, "Yo, come on, man," and we would just be walking around, and he would like, "Yo, you got to work on your left hand." So I would be dribbling. I always had to dribble the ball with my left hand because I didn't have a left hand. So he would stay on me. So we pushed each other for success. So I think that's a good thing, good advice to stay focused and be around the common people who like to do the same thing.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
All right. So how do you and I think that's a big thing too, to be able to transition like or transcend sports into the classroom setting. Like a lot of people like to play sports, but they don't have that competitive fire in the classroom, because I think it should go hand in hand. If you want to be the best on the court, you want to be the best, one of the best students in the classroom, because that's the honor and the badge you want to carry around. Like no matter what I do, I'm trying to aim to be the best.
Yeah.
How did that play a role with you, or how did you feel about the balance between academics and sports?
Yeah, I mean, it played a role because obviously, you can't play ball without passing your classes. But it's crazy because sometimes a part of me wish I did take high school a little more serious. I thought I could have did better in high school. Like my grades wasn't terrible, but I feel like I was there. I was like, okay, I know I'm gonna pass. I was in early college classes, but I'm like, I know I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna go to school. I'm gonna play ball, but I thought I could have went to a better school if my grades were a little higher. So yeah, I mean, I just balance it out. Like I said, my mom wasn't playing that. Like if I want to play basketball, my grades gotta be up to par. Same with my dad's. Like that's come first, school, and then you gonna focus on the sport. My mom telling me if your grades ain't good, you ain't going to practice. And I know that's what I'm passionate about. So it's like, yeah, my grades gotta be up to par. So I want to go to football practice, whatever it was. I had to make sure my grades was good.
Yeah, I can almost hear her voice getting on your case. Oh my God, yeah. I
Yeah,
I ain't gonna mock her, whatever her voice right now, but I can I can imagine that, and that's a good thing because a lot of people get it twisted and they don't understand that you're a student athlete. Keyword: student comes first,
mhm,
then you're athlete. It doesn't go the other way around. Athlete, student. You're a student athlete.
sure.
Herb, you got anything?
I was gonna say, and to follow that up, that's lost a lot. I remember, when I was running the AAU program here with another gentleman, we would get a lot of kids, and we were implementing. You had to have at least a B average, in order to practice.
Hmm.
Never mind travel with us out of town because they correlate. A lot of people don't realize that the same discipline that a player uses to play is the same discipline you need in the classroom to excel.
Yeah.
You can't have a dummy on the court, especially if you're going to be in a position that handles the ball all the time.
Come
You
on,
got
yeah,
to
you gotta
know,
run plays. Yeah.
yeah, you got to, yeah, plays you directing. You got to know where to go. If pressure's coming from a certain way, you got to know what's coming up. You got to know what your defense is trying to do to stop your offense.
For sure.
So if you can't apply yourself in the classroom, then we can't expect you as coaches and staff to
Come on.
apply yourself on the court. And I think that's lost, especially when you're looking at the way minority homes are centered. And I'm not taking a shot at single mothers or anybody who thinks that's what I'm doing because that's what I normally do. No, I'm just putting it out there that a lot of people don't understand that if those grades aren't on par, JUCO's not going to help. Nothing's not going to help. So you got to start with that foundation, which is education first, second, and
Hmm.
third, and then that transitions over.
Hmm. Hmm. Yep.
And I think that's one of the things that I always tell kids because we start off having what we call 6-year plan meetings, and they talk about when it's time to ask them what they want to be when they grow up. They often say, "Oh, I want to be a football player. I want to be a basketball player," and I tell them the importance of reading and math and science and stuff. And a lot of them say, I don't understand why we got to read this stuff. And I was like, because the higher level you get up to, you got to learn how to read plays. You got a playbook. You got there's different schemes and stuff that like you really have to. It's like being in school. You really have to study a playbook, and that's why a lot of people don't get it or excel at that level because they don't take reading and stuff serious.
Yeah,
Let
man.
me see. We got a
I had a
comment.
lot. I had a lot of teammates like that. I had a lot of teammates like that who's like they good at basketball, but they can't get plays for nothing. Like it wouldn't click. School either. It's like they good at basketball, but their grades not right. Or when they is on the court, they don't know the plays. So it definitely
Yeah,
play a part.
and that's true. And I'm reading some of the comments. Your Spody said, "Yes, sir. Proud of you, nephew."
Oh,
Uh, Josh said it's more than basketball. You got Naeem said Ron B. Your cousin Anthony AT said, "Congratulations, fam. This is AT. You've been ducking me on the court. You and Taylor. It is what it is." Oh man. See,
I ain't
I
never
wasn't
been to
even
that.
I wasn't even gonna call you out about ducking you and Taylor ducking me and Ron. I wasn't even trying to go there.
See, it's crazy. I was thinking about that today. I ain't want to put your business out on your own podcast, but yeah, her look. My cousin Taylor is supposed to be me and Taylor versus my cousin Ron and my uncle Pussy, and they've been scared of us this whole time. They ain't want to play us 5 years ago. So I know they want to play us now. They want to play us now. They've been ducking since we was 13 years old. I can only imagine what they wouldn't do with us now. They don't want to play us.
Yeah.
They don't want to play us.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at the young gun, AT. He's younger than What he might have did AT just turn 40? Not even think so, but man, yeah,
You get
ducking
Marcus,
him.
Marcus, him, Marcus will get it. Me and Taylor were sending Marcus. We ain't worried about that.
Oh, next family function, whatever. I'm gonna get right. We gonna have to get out there.
Yeah, it's rims at Gill Creek now. We can figure something
Okay.
out.
I prefer. I'm getting old. I prefer to play indoors. My knee. I can't take that concrete.
That's cool. Hey,
Yeah, man,
I
that
know what happened
concrete's
to you
a
last time he was
beast.
indoors. Last time he was indoors, I seen what happened. Yeah. Uh-huh. Last time he was indoors, I seen what happened.
Okay.
Keep
Okay.
your foot on their neck, young man. Keep your foot on their neck.
Yeah, for sure. I ain't here to throw all that out there, but yeah, me and him both know what happened at the gym.
Okay. I'm gonna tell. So if y'all curious to know, and we're gonna carry on with the interview, but we gotta have some little light spots here and there. So Karan and Taylor came down. I had a Y membership, so we picked up teams and stuff, and we were playing. I was on the team with Taylor and Karan. We played against these other cats. It was this big white dude and some other players, and he hit one shot from damn near half court, like one of them. I hope it go in shots, and he scored on me, and that's the only thing they remember about that, and they keep giving me a hard time about that. But after that, he didn't score, and it was barbecue chicken down low from that point forward that I was killing them. Actually, I carried us to victory. They played all right, but I'm the one brought us home. That's my
Yeah,
recollection.
from my knowledge, I remember one part. I remember dudes shooting a three from half court and Unk face, and that was it. He said barbecue chicken. I don't remember that. That's all. I don't remember that. That's all.
All right, so you got your we got Ronnie O's on here.
Okay,
He
yeah.
said, "Yo, Daphne." What Calvin said has always been more than an athlete. Good, humble kid. Daphne said it's refreshing. Her Naeem said, "Keep setting the tone, young shiner." So and it's all good. I love the positive words and because that's what you need to do. Stay motivated, stay hungry, and as Herb said, keep your foot on the neck. It's no letting up, no letting up at this point. But we're gonna move back on to some of the questions. So I know that once you graduated from SUNY Canton, I remember the first year you were kind of frustrated in regards to your playing time, and then once you got on the court, you never got back off. Once you started getting time, you kind of exerted yourself and became one of the top players on that team. And then I know once that COVID hit, you got an extended year. Then once you got finished with college, it was like, okay, what's next? And how did this? Where were you at mentally once that was over, and then the ABA opportunity came along? What was your thought process? What was going through your head? Like, okay, am I just gonna go to work? Is basketball over for me? What was your thought process?
I'm gonna be honest. Mentally, like I was on both sides, because there's a point in time where I'm staying with Taylor, and I'm telling him like, I'm cool. I'm cool with not playing basketball no more. And I think I was just telling myself that because I wasn't playing it. But in the back of my mind too, I knew opportunity was gonna come. I'm like, y'all know I'm good enough. Somebody gonna call me. Even if I don't go overseas right now, something's gonna come to me. And I stayed patient, and I had got a call from somebody in Germany. The ABA had came about, and here I am. But yeah, at first I was kind of telling myself that I'm cool not playing basketball. Like, oh, I don't really care. I got my degree. I'll go work somewhere. Which wasn't the case. Like, obviously, I know at a point in time I'm gonna have to do that. But I wanted to play basketball. But I was kind of upset about it because I knew I can play. I think the only reason why I wasn't over on the team overseas because I went D3. So I felt the way. But then again, like I said, I knew at a point in time something was gonna come to me. I stayed patient. I kept putting in the work. And then now look, like I said, teams from Germany called me. I'm playing in ABA right now. I'm the youngest on the team. I'm playing well. So like I said, I was like kind of just I don't know lost at first about what was gonna happen with basketball was college was my last time playing like an organized game, and then like I said, I stayed patient, and here we are. I'm playing ABA and I'm playing well. So
Herb, you
Back
got anything?
yeah, to follow it up, and I was curious as because I think every player who's gotten to your level has has had a moment of what do I do next,
Hmm.
and you clearly you branched that for anyone else. You know, and I'm always going to preface this with the people that's coming behind you because whether we know it a lot, Dave, myself, and the ladies last week have said, you know, people are looking up to you guys. What do you tell a younger kid who's coming to where you've been? How do they get to that next spot without losing faith and hope?
Like I said, stay patient. You know, like good things come to good people. You feel me? You do good at people, stuff like that's it's like good things don't come to you. You know, like I said, I was kind of worried about it, and then I stay patient. I prayed on it. You know, my granny, you know, she do a lot of praying for me. You know, and then you know that it just came to me. Like I said, I stayed patient about it. I prayed. Like I don't really know what I'm going through right now. You know, I don't know if basketball meant for me or not. You know, and just kind of just fell in my lap. So I tell them, you know, just stay patient, keep putting in the work, and if you're good enough, you're gonna be found. You know, so just keep grinding. It's a day by day thing. You know, it don't happen overnight. So stay patient. You know, keep believing in yourself, and then you know good things gonna come to you. But don't rush the process. You know, everything happens to you when it's supposed to.
That you know that, and that's an excellent point. And I could just a moment, Dave, and I could see the support system you have.
Yeah.
So, you know, it makes it a little easier. And I think, you know, just with Black Americans culture, a lot of young men they don't have that. So, you know, and I always and I said to Dave last week, man, you know, your family is everything, you know, when it comes down to it. Because I remember, you know, certain situations with my family, you know, where one of my siblings that fell off, you know, we're there to help raise that individual back up. So no matter what it is, that family becomes key, and they
Yeah.
keep you level. Like you said, your grandmother prays for you. You
Hmm.
got David here in your corner. He's always putting your stuff out there first and foremost. And whether I know you personally or like, because I support Dave, I'm gonna click on it anyway because I know what Dave is about. Dave is about positivity, and that's easy to see how that permeates through the family.
Yeah.
So the more we have that as a culture, the easier it becomes for people who don't necessarily know us
Right.
to reach out and say, "Yo, man, I'm struggling. How can you help me? What do I need to do? Or point me in the good direction so I can stay away from the negative and accentuate the positive and keep rising as Ron Will says, keep rising and transforming."
All right, so I'm gonna go through and read. I like to keep the audience engaged. Your cousin Ron said, "Killers kill. Keep killing them on the court, and stop ducking me and Dave." Inside joke. um, he said, "Also enjoy the journey. He's happy for you." Your dad said somebody's always watching. Coach seen film from Vegas and said he had to have them. So
Mhm.
yeah, and man, you know, like we always say, enjoy the process. I think the great John Wooden said, the process is always greater than the end
Sure.
result because it's everything that you go through, the ups and downs. And then when you sit back and reflect on it, you're like, man, like I want to go through that again. Because once you get to the end, you have to find new challenges.
Yeah.
And this doesn't relate to that, but we often talk about on this platform about relationships. So a lot of times people want to rush the process. Women, women,
Hmm.
women want to get married, want to jump over the process, and then you get married. Then y'all just sitting around looking at each other.
Right.
You have to find new challenges, and no matter what you do, whatever you accomplish. So even if it's a promotion on the job, you have to say, what's next for me? What am I going to do next? And I think people who have that innate ability to do that, you know, they always staying fresh, staying young. So I would always encourage you to do that and say, hey, if y'all win the chip this year, say what's next.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Am I re-upping with the Buffalo Extreme, or more people going to be coming at you, or people from overseas, and say, hey, maybe now it's time for a new challenge. Keep them challenges going and keep that fire burning inside you.
No, for sure. For sure.
What I do want to ask you is, obviously, okay, we you know you're in a different era from us. Who is the player right now that you model your game after, and you say, man, I study him. I want to get to the sweet spot like he do. I want to handle him. I know back in my days, everything for me was Magic Johnson. Um,
Okay.
so who is that player for you?
I ain't gonna lie. I look up to Kobe. Rest in peace to him. But right now in today's game, I like Paul George. I think Paul George don't got no faults in his game. They try to bash him in the playoffs, but I feel like Paul George can shoot, he can dribble, he can play defense, he athletic. I like Paul George's game. And then there's guys like Anthony Edwards, Jalen Brown, Jason Tatum. I like them. But I really like Paul George's game. I think his game is smooth, he can shoot it. I think everything about his game is all right. Yeah, I like Paul George. I
And,
do.
and,
He's a solid
and it's
player.
funny that
Yeah.
you say that because I think about an interview I seen or a clip, and they asked Kion Anthony who was his favorite player, and he said Paul George. So I think a lot of people, and Paul George does have a nice game. I think
Mhm.
he just need to be in the right situation with the right people, and he probably would have had a chip uh,
I'm gonna say
a
this though. I
long
think
time ago.
they're my dark horse this year. I think I like the Celtics. If they don't win, I like the Clippers.
Oh, okay. All right. Prediction. Okay.
You know, I ain't checking for the Clippers because I'm a Lakers fan, so I ain't checking for the Clippers. All right, so you like his game. He's offensively solid. Defense, he's sound. He's a good all around player. Got handles, so that's how you try to model your game. And I've been to a few of your games. You definitely tough. I always tell you though, don't always settle for them. Don't always settle for them threes, even though they're right there. Bring pressure. Keep pressure going. Keep them on the back heel. So sometimes you may have an open three, but if you can get to the cup, get closer. Hey, you got to go ahead and take it and put the defense on their heels.
Yeah, I was gonna say
And
I
we
think his
just
speed is messed up. Yeah, just for a moment.
yeah. So we lost him, so he'll come back. So who was that player for you, Herb, back in the days?
Man, because I started playing basketball really late. Comparatively speaking, I didn't pick up a basketball till I was about 14, 15. So for me, offense was tough. Like you said earlier. With Mike Starks, I couldn't dribble a ball left or right handed. So I had to focus on defense. So for me, the person I emulated, at least in half his game, was Gary Payton. I was quick. I was tough. So me trying to pick up steals. You catch an elbow, it didn't hurt me. I played football. I'm like, man, you got to come with something a little tougher to hurt me. So I always, mimic my game in part after Jerry Payton. I was a Doc fan, but I wasn't 6'7". I couldn't palm the ball, and I sure as hell couldn't jump like he did. So, I had to do what I did to get to fit in. Even just to see the court because when we got to 13th Street, they were picking the best, and often I'm sitting on the sidelines watching runs for hours on end, and until there wasn't anybody to pick up, and eventually I get on the court, and everything that I would practice, I would start to improve on because I would go to the practices and watch what Coach Monty did and how the practices was ran and how them boys got to improving. And like you said, everybody played against everybody else. So, Saturdays when Biddy basketball came along, I showed up at the 17th Street Boys Club at 9 o'clock. Was watching the eighth graders play on all the way up until they got to about eighth or ninth, and they were able to transition into JV and varsity. And then he's like, okay, yo, these boys can legit play. I can't play with them. All I can do is sit back and watch. And it's just like, man, you see the the transition and the transformation of them being able to do one thing and then they come back, they've added another facet. And then you say, okay, look, I know the only way I'm gonna get on the court is if I can play defense. So I will focus on blocking shots, steals, trying to pick off errant passes. And then eventually I was able to transition to learn a little bit of offense. But yeah, Gary Payton was my boy. That defense, man, that hard nose, that grit, that in your face defense. That was the person I tried to emulate, slap the floor, get mad. But offense, that's for me, that's a tough thing to master. Even now, when I go out to the court and I'm engaged in weight loss, I'm putting up left-handed shots. And I would tell these kids, I said, look, y'all want to be Steph Curry. Y'all want to be this person. but you don't focus on the fundamentals. So when it comes time to do certain things, you're not able to because you haven't built your game the right way. I understand you want to shoot threes. I said, but you got to be able to shoot free throws first. Well, I said, you look at any player in NBA history who's ever shot the 3 point shot well, they were 90% or above free throw shooters. So you look at people like Pistol Pete, you look at people like Larry Bird. Um, I can't remember the point guard that Cleveland had back in the days with Brad
Price.
Doherty, Price. I
Yeah.
said, all those people shot free throws well. That's your form. And once you get that form down, you can extend your range because the range will come with it, but you have to be accurate. And I would ask the kids, when I was coaching, I said, if I gave you 5 shots from 3 point range or out or 3 point range and in, what are you going to take? Oh, threes. All right. So I'm going to give you two. You're going to hit two 3 point shots. This is going to give you 6 points. I said, but if I give you 4 layups, what are you going to take? I'm going to take the 4 layups. Why? Because there's more points. So focus shooting on the inside of the perimeter before you try and shoot outside. You're going to get 8 points. That's going to keep you in the game, not launching errant 3 point shots, just like you said earlier. Put pressure on them. Because once you start putting pressure on the defense, you start breaking the defense down. You may not score, but you're going to look up and say, I got 6 assists. The coaches are going to say, look, he understands the game. He's not always going to force a bad shot. He's going to make sure his teammates open. We're going to score. We get more points when he's on the court because he's a ball distributor. So if you can pass, obviously if you can shoot, but if you can pass and play defense well, you always going to find a spot on the court because there's not enough of those. We people talk about LeBron James and his game, and you mentioned Magic. That's a facet from Magic's game that a lot of people overlook with LeBron. They was talking about, well, he's not Kobe. He doesn't have a Kobe mentality. He doesn't shoot first. You don't always have to score to impact the game. Is it nice? Yeah, that's absolutely no question. This is why in hockey, and I know people don't follow hockey. I'm probably one of the few people here. They give out 2 assists, primary assist, secondary assist. Basketball's no different. If I set a nice screen for somebody and I roll to the basket, 2 people go to you because you're the shooter, and I got an open look. Give me the ball. You get the assist. I'm like, hey, look, I can play with this cat. He understands. Matter of fact, Karl Malone and John Stockton made pick and roll famous. 2-1. Kyle layup. Well, can't y'all stop him? It's just a pick and roll. Well, what do we do? Pick and roll is hard to stop when it's executed well. And I think a lot of people really don't grasp how such a simple play, because it's not really complex, a simple play ran between 2 people who understand what they want to accomplish. They're killing the game. Stockton, number 1, and assist all time off a pick and roll. Nothing fancy, killing the game. So, that's where we talk about the education and understanding what you want to do in basketball and what you can't do. I'm sorry, people didn't mean to preach.
Ron, he had dropped down,
Okay.
technical difficulties with the internet, but he said he's on his way back in.
Okay.
So, yeah, and that's one of the things, like I always tell him to enjoy the journey, stay consistent, and just you definitely got to bring the pressure as far as, because like he told me, he's one of the youngest people on his team, so I kind of figure from what I've seen that most of the people are a little bit older. So I tell him, shit, when they get to the third, fourth quarter, it's time to kill.
Yeah.
It's time to kill. These dudes, they may be on their last leg or last. You 23, whatever. Go at them hard. And you let them off the hook by taking jump shots. So you just got to go to the basket and bring the pressure, then drive and kick. And some games he more aggressive doing that. Some games, they like to settle. Everybody's in love with the 3-point shot, as you can see the NBA All-Star game. yesterday. I think I don't know how many, some ridiculous amount they scored, and then how many threes they took between them over. It's just ridiculous, but that's a whole nother story. So we were waiting for him, Karan, to come back on. So people just hold tight because I got some more questions for him as far as his journey, and if you have sons or daughters, it's some of this is valuable information, but you got to remember to always make sure they solid in school, because I
Yeah.
often tell my students, no matter it doesn't matter how good you are if you don't have that balance with schoolwork. You'll just be a playground legend, or you'll become older and you'll sit around talking about what you could have done. Well, if I would have did this, I could have been one of the best players around. And we have people like that in our era that we say, man, if they would ever have some grades, they was the best. Could have been one of the best athletes around. So it starts with balance, and balance is kind of that's something has to be instilled in your home from day one. So we see Karan. He's very balanced here. He's back, people. So don't go nowhere because I got some good questions for him. I got some questions that may start up a little controversy. You gotta click on for your camera to show up. Right now, it's just your avatar.
Um, you see me or no?
You don't have the camera. It's something on there that you gotta put your click on so that your camera can show up. Right now, you got your camera like muted.
Is he using a phone or a desktop computer?
What are you using right now?
I'm on Kamara laptop now.
Where it says stop cam, you should see at the bottom. It says mute stop cam settings present.
Uh huh.
Click on stop cam and see what you get.
That's not even my avatar.
It should allow you to go live. When you came in, what did you choose, Facebook or YouTube?
Facebook.
It should be. Try and go back out and try and select YouTube and see what you get. Because I know sometimes with StreamYards, depending on what you select, it'll put you through one feed, and one feed won't allow you to use anything other than your avatar. Because that's what I have to do because I'm using a desktop as well. So I always choose Facebook. So I'm wondering if that's what the holdup is. And you mentioned something, Dave, that I wanted to actually follow up to. This is before we came live. You said he asked you why didn't you go farther into it. You said because you were good at math and your teacher was pushing you to keep stats so you could segue into coaching. And I think that's something that's lost on a lot of people who may not be as good physically at the game, but mentally they know X's and O's, they can draw up plays and they can do those things. How can
So
that translate? Go ahead.
I was going to give him a little backstory of that. So
Oh, okay, all right.
before we came, we was backstage before the show started. Karan asked me about basketball, and I was because one of the questions that I was going to ask him, and I'm still going when he comes on, like currently who is the top 5 players in Niagara Falls, and I had told him that in my day and I was just joking. So he said, why didn't he said he didn't hear that. He had to look into that, do research on that. They would need to connect their mic and cam before you can add them. So Karan, you
Yeah,
need to
see,
connect your microphone and your cam to the
yeah,
StreamYards. 'Cause-
yards, yeah.
so when he asked me that, and I'm just waiting for him to connect his mic and his cam, and I said, when I used to play at Now University when I was a freshman, I used to go at these the basketball players, and then I said, but I was too worried about academics, like being on the basketball team, traveling, and I know they got tutoring and all that, but I was already kind of nervous and kind of anxious about college in this first place. So I was like, nah, I didn't really want to get into that. And I was good in math, and one of my professors at the time had knew that I was good in math, and she was like, I want to try to get you a position that you keep stats for the team, and you would travel, you would get tutoring, and things of that nature. And I kind of declined that. So Karan asked me, is like, so would you do it all over again? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I said, but keeping stats, I might have gave that a shot because sometimes you can look at Spolstrom. He was like the film person for the Heat, and sometimes if you're around those people and you keep his stats, sooner or later it's going to lead to being an assistant coach, and then a head coach. And I think I would have loved that opportunity to be a part of the game like that, but I kind of declined it because I was kind of just worried about being successful overall in college. So still waiting for Karan. Got this comment. Terrence DuBois said one thing about Karan is that he stayed humble and coachable throughout this whole process. Me and his father knew he was on the verge of doing things that we never had the chance to do. Eh, that's true. He's always been humble, always worked hard, diligent, and he believed in himself, and he just stayed at it. And you know, that's what they do. He go at it, and that's one of the questions. Like, what are some of the things you do outside of practice? Because it's more you have to put in that work outside of practice, other than the regular time, where a lot of people they go to practice and that's just it. If you ever see the clips and stuff about Kobe and they're at the gym hours before some of the players, and they already got a sweat and they're putting in the work. And if you think about in boxing and you think about Mayweather, 2, 3 in the morning, he would tell his team, they could be at the movie, well, not at that late, but doing something else, and he's in the gym while people are sleeping. So that's kind of the mindset you got to have. While everybody else is sleeping, you putting in that work. And Karan was always there. They lived in the gym and always hooping, and it wouldn't be shocking. I'm predicting that he's gonna get a chip in the ABA, and I think that will be major as far as his next step. Because once you're a champion, you're always a champion, and people at different levels they come looking for champions.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. And I say this kind of tongue in cheek. I remember, when I was playing with Biddy, the 17U League, because we had so many players at 13th Street, we had an A and a B team, and oddly enough, we happened to square up in a championship game, and we won. So I always tell people, I've been part of the championship team, so I understand the process of what it takes. Now, with that said, I also go back to my days in high school when I ran track. And at Lacell, we were never noted, for being good at anything other than maybe basketball. So when we finished that season undefeated, and I was an anchor on that squad, I was like, yo, look, say what you want to. But me, shout out to James George, a couple other cats on that squad, we carried that squad. And we were the only undefeated, unbeaten, untied boys team at Lacell Senior High School ever. That's a feather in my cap.
Good stuff. All right, Karan, you back? You back? People been waiting for you.
My fault. I don't know, have my laptop turned off, but look, we back. I'm back.
That's all right, man. Hey, consistency wins.
Yeah, I'm here.
And got a lot of it was comments that came through. Your uncle talked about had mentioned how you always was coachable throughout the whole process. Him and your dad knew you were on the verge of doing things that they never had the chance to do. Nicole Scott has agreed with all that was said, and she also said Karan is an amazing baseball player. Also, he never failed me when it came to play hard. He's an amazing athlete, and amazing player on and off the field and on the court. He has always gave it his all every single time, and those is big words and that
Sure.
always should be instilled in you when people speak on you. You always want somebody to when they speak on you to speak on you with high character, great value, and things of that nature. Those is big praise. I'm not an athlete no more, but I one of my old principals gave me one of the highest praises that I could get, and he was like, "David may be quiet, but in the school building, he's a force.
Mhm.
Ain't nothing better than that." Like, basically, he's saying he ain't gonna say much, but you're gonna feel his presence. The
Yeah,
students
for
are gonna
sure.
feel his presence. So that's when I say bring pressure. That's what I mean. That you want to be a force on the court. But I'm gonna get back to the questioning. Now, we've been talking about a lot of stuff. Right now, currently, as we speak, because I know we always had our measuring sticks. Who was the top players? Who are the top players in Niagara Falls? The top 5 players. Rank them 1 through 5.
Right now, I ain't gonna lie. I'm taking me five. I'm taking me one. I'm taking me one. Like they gonna take Roddy. I
Woo!
don't. I don't. I don't hear about none of that. I'm going me, Roddy. Give me
You,
Taylor.
Lottie Gale,
Yeah, give me Taylor.
Woo!
Give me Taylor. Give me
Taylor
Willie.
Sanders.
Yeah, give me Willie, and then give me Jalen. Then give me Jalen. I might be biased to Taylor family, but yeah, I ain't gonna lie. If I go to the gym and I got to pick up anybody, I'm picking up Taylor first. That's why I'm putting Taylor third. But Roddy got the credentials. Roddy gonna go second. Taylor, Willie. I like the locked in Willie, and then I'm gonna go Jalen Bradbury for sure. Because
Mm.
I feel like we're the only ones that's hooping still. So I think in the people that's still hooping, that's my order from 1 to 5. Yeah, yeah,
So, you know that I'm going to make a clip out of this.
yeah.
You already know I'm going to make a clip. And I'm like, the top 5 players right now, currently, number 1. So it might get some heat. I'm just letting you know, you might get some smoke behind it.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
And,
I
and,
can.
and,
I can.
and,
Go ahead, Dave. Okay.
and you're supposed to believe you're supposed to believe that especially if you feel you're at that level and you play with them and you know what you bring to the table. Some people don't be realistic and they think you like, okay, dude, okay. But if you believe that in your heart and you, hey, I'm gonna go with it,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
be
I feel
clipped.
like I feel like any day of the week we could beat each other though. It's like I'm not going to beat Roddy every time I play him. I'm not going to beat Taylor. But I think in order as basketball players, yeah, I'm putting out. I like that order. Me, Roddy, Taylor, Willie, Jalen. Yeah, I like that. I'm good
I'm
with
gonna drop
that.
some duckers to see the game.
Yeah,
That's for damn sure.
but I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to all of them. They all can play ball though, for sure. They all can play. They all can play. Yeah, they all can play.
And one of the things, and I know we got some up and coming players that's coming, and I've been to one of the Niagara Falls high school games this year. They had got a couple seniors that's leaving, and then they got some young guns that's up and coming. And I think, what do you think, far as Carlos Bradbury and what he did? Because I always thought when y'all was coming up, he should have been the coach. I know that was a lot of controversy with Sal and all that stuff, but I was like, Los been there. He understands it. Sal, I just remember him from the Y and all of that stuff. But what do you think how Los is doing with the program?
No, I think Lowe's doing well. Especially with them going independent. I feel like Lowe's doing a good job with them. I feel like Lowe's do a real good job with player development. I feel like you go to the gym, you can see his players. Got skill. Us, we was more physical. We gonna play defense stuff like that. I feel like his people actually play a little bit of basketball. They can dribble, they can do a little bit of everything. Us, we was gritty. We was gonna play defense. We was gonna get steals and score like that. They scored in the half court set where they gonna hit threes, drive, kick, hit open threes. That was only us. Obviously, we can do that. But like I said, we gonna get majority of our points from full court defense and getting out on the break and scoring. Them they more skill. Like, you can tell they be in the gym. They play basketball. I feel like that's the credit to Lowe's. Like, he really got them in the gym getting better.
And you also know where that's a credit to from too. Playing for the Lacelle Explorers.
Yeah,
That's,
I
that's,
guess.
that's in your system.
Yeah,
That half court game, the offenses, the different things that he used to bring to the table, Coach Monty. Like it was a whole lot of stuff, a whole lot. He was probably at the college level of his thinking as far as preparation, getting the Lacelle people. So you see why that people like Los went on to do well, Modi Cox,
Yeah, man. There's a
Fat
lot of people.
Jack um,
Yeah,
went on to
buddy.
do well, and Eric Gore, Elon McCracken. So the list goes on with players that went on to the next level and put in work.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and Modi on their staff, so I can only imagine, what they teaching them with Modi, Carlos, Esposito. They doing a good job in Niagara Falls for sure.
Yeah, yeah, man. Let me ask this question. They spoke about baseball earlier.
Hmm.
Now, what position did you play when you played baseball defensively?
So growing up, I was playing third, shortstop, and I was pitching. And then if I got to majority of the time when I played travel, I was playing center field. Like right now, if I can play, I'll be center fielder. They got they gonna put like in high school they put a lot of like the Hispanic Dominican kids that's at shortstop. Not saying I couldn't play, but they got quick hands. They gonna put me at shortstop. Go ahead, they can have that. In center field though, I'm covering the whole outfield. Put me in center field. Right now, I'm cool with that. Yeah, but growing
And
up,
the reason
I played a little bit everywhere.
and the reason why I asked that is because there's baseball similar to basketball is played up the middle. In other words, you got to have good defense
Yeah,
to play. You said you played third and shortstop, which are two pivotal positions defensively. You
yeah.
have to have good footwork playing shortstop. How does that transition to basketball for you?
Like you said, you gotta have quick hands, quick feet. Like in basketball, the majority of the time you're on the balls of your feet. That's why you're in shortstop. You're in that hot corner at third base. You're in that hot corner, balls of your feet, ready for something to come to you. So it kind of just translates to basketball, sliding side to side. Gotta cover that gap between second and short, third and shortstop. So that kind of how just correlates to basketball. Just having to be like light on your toes and be able to move to side to side. So
And just so people realize, I didn't know what position he played playing baseball. This is the first time I've met the young man. And the reason why I asked that is because we have a lot of parents who are putting their kids in program specific sports. And what I want people to understand is in order for you to be a good athlete, you need to be able to do multiple things well. Credit to this young man for playing multiple sports and taking one sport's abilities and transition it to another. So that ability he can use to play another sport. I think we get a lot of these kids that are hyper focused and they don't understand that, and they only play one sport
yeah,
as opposed to playing multiple sports. So if you play multiple sports, not only do you get the benefit of exercise for both sports, you get the benefit of understanding how being good in one sport transitions to another.
yeah. But I personally, I want to see a lot of like us playing baseball. It's not too many of us. And I feel like we
Hmm.
make good athletes. You can put us on a baseball field somewhere, and we can help the team.
Hmm.
So personally, like I said, if I could have took baseball more serious in high school or moved to Baltimore with my uncles and played, real baseball, I would have did that. Like I
Yeah,
see my mom in the comments, let her tell it. She'd tell you, "Oh, Karan's going to MLB." But I became, basketball. I think it was a cool sport. Basketball looks better than
yeah,
baseball. So
yeah,
I'm like, I'm going with basketball.
yeah.
But if I can go back in time, I probably would have took baseball serious, try to move down there with my uncles, and play baseball for real, like and really take it serious. But I don't got no complaint. I ain't got no regrets. I'm happy with the decision I made, and basketball going well for me, so I ain't
Good.
mad.
Yeah,
And your mom did say all around, all positions, and she's always going to be like a champion for you, and to believe that you can uh, do everything. And it is right. Like when you can play multiple sports, it kind of correlates hand in hand with certain things. And I like when you made the point about playing shortstop, second or third base, whatever. That lateral movement from side to side. That's what
Yeah,
makes you a good defender.
hmm,
Make sure you stay in. Make sure nobody you right there in front of the offensive person, or even when you're on the offensive end, to be able to move side to side. You got to have some type of lateral movement. If you, I mean, oftentimes they talk about basketball going downhill, but in order to get downhill, you got to have some way to get downhill. So you got to have
hmm.
some good lateral movement and quickness,
for sure,
and that helps.
for sure. Nobody's slow playing shortstop. You got to cover that ground. Ball coming up the gap, that's your ball. You got to get to that. So it definitely helps when it comes to basketball.
Now, let me ask you this question: and where it's a lot going on when you're playing sports. And and I always make parallels to me working at the middle school, and I tell kids like it's so much. Even when you go from middle school to high school, it's added stress and pressure. How do you handle stress and pressure? Because I know a lot of times in this generation, not saying we ain't do it in our days, but people resort to smoking, uh, drinking, and things like that, or they may feel okay, I need to be with my girl and stuff like that, and some of them popping out babies and all of that stuff. How do you handle the stress and pressure of everything being, you don't have any children at this point, and with everything that's going on in this world?
Um, the gym, like I'm gonna call Taylor if I'm stressed out. I'm calling Taylor. Yeah, we going to the gym. We getting up shots, and that kind of basketball just kind of take your mind away from everything. So that's my number one option. I'm gonna go play basketball, and I'm gonna forget about whatever I'm going through. And I think pressure, I think you over time, you get like over time you kind of like get made for pressure. Like once you become confident in yourself, it ain't no pressure. Like the work you put in, pressure can become immune to you. It's like, okay, I've been here before. I know what to do. In this situation, when it's time to hit big free throws, I've been here before. I practice these day in and day out. There's no pressure. I'm gonna knock these down. You go in there with confidence, then you're gonna make both them free throws. So I just kind of just stay in the gym. Like in that I don't really want to hang out with people. I hang with my family. I got a few friends, and all my friends on the same thing as me. Like we all going
Yeah.
to the gym. 9 times out of 10, like all my people want to play basketball. So I know like I'm not doing nothing to get in trouble. I'm in the gym. I'm stressed out. I'm going to the gym. And that's just how I kind of stay, you know, um, stress free and prepared.
And that's a good response because it's older adults that can't get that concept that say, damn, why am I still hanging out with this person?
Yeah.
They when they not around me, they smoking crack
Hmm.
or doing whatever, or in your age, popping pills, whatever. Like once you hear that type of stuff, sooner or later you have to say, nah,
Yeah.
that ain't me. I'll feed you with a wooden spoon. I'm not gonna turn my back on you, but we ain't rolling. We ain't rolling like that anymore.
Yeah.
And people, because you have to understand that you only have one life, and you're trying to live it the best way you can. And you sometimes you got to be locked in, and you
Come
got to
on.
focus on yourself. You got to be selfish sometimes to accomplish goals. You got to be
Nah.
selfish, and a lot of people like, oh, they don't may not like that, but too damn bad.
Like you
When
said,
you're trying to accomplish your goal.
yeah, like you said, it's no love lost, but it's like we was friends in sixth grade. What you doing now, I'm not doing now. So there's no point
Yeah.
for us to kick. I might see you. What up, bro? You know how you been? I'm gonna keep it casual. Like you still my friend, but we on two different routes. You doing what you doing. You want to smoke weed, like you said, smoke crack. I'm not into that. I want to play basketball. So that's where my focus is going to. Better in my life playing basketball, being able to take care of my people. That's what's important to me. So
Like Dave said, that's a hard concept, for adults to deal with. And when I say adults, I'm talking people our age. Never mind somebody who's in their young 20s like you. And for
right,
people, to cut people off, who they, like you said, went to grammar school with, high school with, that is difficult for some because they feel like they're betraying them, and they don't realize that the first loyalty you have to have as a person is to yourself and your goals. And if you don't have that, nothing else is gonna matter. So, my hats off to you and kudos, man, for being able to see that at a young age and continued success.
no, for sure. I appreciate that.
So what are right now? So your season probably comes to it in probably in April. Um,
Yeah.
what's next? What's your goals after that?
So obviously, while we in season right now, I kind of want to be a ABA All Star. I feel like I've been playing well. So that's the goal of mine. Like individually, I'm gonna be ABA All Star. I'm playing with Taylor, so it's fun. Again. Like that's what I've been wanting to do. And then honestly, it's crazy because I feel like me playing with Taylor with this team is better because we're not playing nobody from Niagara Falls. It's sad to say, but people in Niagara Falls don't want you to do better than them. So it's like it's hard to play the same people that I've been playing with as I get older. Because you get better. They want you to outshine them. So me playing with a different group of people, man, it's been fun. But and then I want to get overseas, obviously. I've been talking to teams in the TBL, like the Jamestown Jackals. I think they're about to come see me play in March. It's like a overseas league, but it's in the states. So, I just kind of just I was going to finish the year out strong, make the playoffs, win our division, win our region, and just kind of see where things go from there. Like I said, just be patient, man. Everything I'm play I was supposed to, for sure. I was gonna take care of my business first. That's just keep doing what I'm doing.
And that's true. And I think again, um, it was something that I was watching ESPN today, and they were trying to figure out who is the face of the NBA once LeBron, Curry, and KD leave. And a lot of people saying Ant Man and Shea Gilders, but personality and it's a bunch of stuff that go into that. And then they asked Jason Tatum because they wasn't really bringing him up, and he said, and he knows he's one of them. He said, "If we win the chip, I got a lot to say about this." So y'all can say Ant Man and all that, but once you win a chip, it's a different level. So keep going for that chip, and you'll see that opportunities will open up. So you'll be having choices and options. And we always talk about on this platform, having options mean you have power.
Hmm.
When
Sure.
you don't have options, you don't have power. Excuse my language and shit. You don't have options and none. But when you have options, you have power. So when that chip, you're gonna have like, man, I got a decision to make, and you can be the big dog. Like, let me see. Okay, let me see how this gonna work out. What do y'all got to offer me? And all that, because when you don't, you have to take for you have to take whatever, you have to take dog food basically when you
Sure.
don't have options. So that's go out and get that chip, especially y'all look like y'all gonna be positioned to be the number one seed, uh, defend your home court. And one thing I challenge is Niagara Falls, Buffalo, that arena should be standing room only, that people should be coming in there. Okay, the Bills is done. Give up that dream. You have a team that's successful, and it don't cost that much to come go to a game. You got local talent right there. Please support them, please. So get there. It's at West Seneca. You can get a ride. You can a carpool. But once it gets to playoff time, actually, they got a game coming up against Binghamton. They're ranked
Yeah,
number
yeah,
9, and they were ahead of Buffalo most of the year, but y'all beat them at a disadvantage, and y'all didn't even have all y'all key players and was shorthanded. Only had like 7 players. Y'all beat them. They come into Buffalo, what, March 2nd,
our
and
second.
y'all ranked 7th and they 9. That gym should be full to capacity. I plan on being there, God willing. I plan to be there, and I want to challenge people to come there and make sure so we can get that victory. We need some championships or some in that area.
Yeah,
Can't
for
keep
sure.
waiting on the Bills.
Yeah, you ain't lying. I like the Bills, but yeah, definitely.
Any other question? Anything else you want to say? Because again, I don't want to. I want to honor the time. This is an interview. This ain't our regular platform. Anytime we have a guest on here, we try to honor their time and don't want to have people that you invited like, okay, I wish they'd shut up. It's time to go to bed or whatever. But me and her, we do this. We could be on here to 12 or 1 o'clock, but certainly we're gonna honor and respect your time. You off school this week or you got work?
Yeah, no, actually, no, I work at the school, but the school closed today. So I'm up for discussion. I don't got
Uh,
school. I don't got school tomorrow. Like it's always closed for something. I don't know what we closed for tomorrow, but it's closed. So you know,
okay,
we can be on here all night. If it come down to it. But I want
okay.
to thank the people in the comments. I don't really know who commented on the post or whatever. I really can't see the comments, but I just want to thank the people that is on here watching it. Support me, saying kind words. I appreciate that.
Got Radiant Rose. She said, congratulations. Big Shank said I would be there. Fam, I said that. Hashtag I said that. So,
it's
uh,
it's always nice to have support, man. I mean, because I'm 30. Dave and I, we know we're 30 years removed from high school, and I was always a big football fan. So on the days that it would permit, my schedule would permit, I would go down and watch the high school play. I can't do that with basketball so much because of the games and schedule. But people would ask me, they said, "Do you have kids here?" I said, "No," and they said, "Well, why?" You? I said, "Because these kids need support." yes, they play for the love of the game, but it's always nice to look over into the stands and you see you got people who
Yeah.
are on your side. And I think so often, as David just alluded to, that's what we miss here. I know when Lexell was rolling, and then there was Niagara Falls High School. It didn't matter what the records were. The
Yeah.
games had gotten to the point where they moved them down to the convention center,
Yeah.
and you had 3 or 4 thousand people show up, and the city literally shut
Hmm.
down. There was nothing going on except the Niagara Falls High School versus the I'm sorry, Niagara Falls High School Poundcats versus Lacell Explorers, and that game was it. It started with the JV and then moved to the varsity. By then, it was a fever pitch,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
think that's so much of what this area lacks is people supporting others, regardless of what your political affiliation is, regardless if you like them. Just show up and support.
Yeah.
Show up and support.
Like I said, support is free, But that's how I wanted to be, Like you said, 3,000, 4,000 people. I think by next year, if we win our the whole thing, I think by next year we're gonna need a new facility, Because if people are already rolling in, I think if we win the whole ABA championship our first year, uh, we definitely need a bigger venue, Because it's already like it's getting that like notoriety, So I think if we win the whole thing, we're gonna
I,
need
I
a
got
bigger team. Like you said, y'all moved to the convention center, so
I got
Yeah.
y'all winning it. I got y'all winning. I think y'all got
yeah,
all the necessary pieces in place to win it. And I like to pick up, not just because he's my cousin, but to pick up with, on Taylor. And I think that's big. The on ball defender, long, lengthy, 6'3", long arms, wingspan, that he can give some of them little midgets a difficult time on the other team. So I'm watching. I mean, even if you don't get to the games, you can watch it live streaming. But I definitely plan to be there for that Binghamton game, and I'm always wishing you the most success, and just your hunger and drive still drives me in things that I do, and that's one thing that we have to understand. It's not always we always look at older people like we supposed to set the tone, but also we still have to stay up and rise to challenges ourselves and find new challenges. You just can't be an older person barking out stuff at young people, but you ain't doing shit. You working the
absolutely.
same job, get your little raise, a nickel, a dime, or whatever. You got to show them like, yo, I'm still putting in work. It ain't on the court or whatever the case is, but I'm putting in work professionally in things with my brand or things that I'm doing. So you got to find inspiration. We all got to find inspiration in each one of us to build and to grow, and I think that's is vital.
And I also kind of want to piggyback on Herb said he had spoke on support, and that's what kind of make this whole experience for me fun, like being able to look in the crowd and I can see my grandparents there, my uncles can come to the game, my mom at every game, my dad, my sister, my cousins, it feel good looking to the crowd, seeing them there, like I feel like I play better when they there actually, so that part definitely goes a long way. So Herb, I salute you for that, just going to the game just cause that definitely means a lot. Like I said, every time my people at the game, I feel like I play better, 'Cause I know I got somebody there watching me. I got somebody there that I gotta play well for, So yeah,
Mhm.
shout out to you, Herb, for sure.
Yeah.
Appreciate
And
it.
it, and it's all good. And we in the day of exposure, social media, and it all looks good. Crowd, family, togetherness, and all that stuff. So just come out and support. Again, we're not going to hold you too long. Any closing comments? Let me read some comments. Delcine says support makes a big difference. Ultras Parker, your cousin said congratulations from your family from Wisconsin.
You have to
Our
imagine
peoples from
country.
Milwaukee.
Yeah,
Our
man.
peeps
That's
from
always a good
Milwaukee.
thing. Yeah, man.
I
So
appreciate all that.
any closing comments, Herb, on your part that you want to say?
No, man. Like I said, man, you're continuing the legacy of the hotbed of basketball. That is Western New York, and a lot of people, they poo-poo that, but picking up that baton, man, and running and doing what you're doing, man, that's not to be taken lightly. And I applaud your efforts, man. Wherever you step, hopefully that road is paved with gold and success, and continue to grind, man. That's all I can say, man. Is continue to grind.
Sure,
Understand that the shoulders you stand on today will be the shoulders that somebody else stands on tomorrow.
sure, indeed, indeed. I
Ron,
appreciate that.
anything you want to say to the audience, or any, think future goals or anything you want to let them know as far as your season winds down? Well, really, this is the good part of the season.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say?
First of all, I want to thank y'all, for allowing me to come on the show. I appreciate it, Herb. Thank you. To
No
people that's my
problem.
age, older than me, I just want to tell y'all to run your own race. Like nothing happens overnight. Trust the process, run your own race. I see my boy Nye commenting. I tell him this all the time. Things take time. Keep working hard, and good things gonna come to you. Don't compare yourself to nobody. Comparison is people all joy. You compare yourself to other people, man. That ain't gonna work out for you. Focus on yourself, run your own race, stay in your own lane. Keep working hard, keep your head down, pray, and things gonna happen for you how they supposed to happen. For sure.
Right. And for me, I think being a trailblazer and giving people other options that, hey, if you don't get into the 4 year college you want, or you know not everybody makes it to the NBA, but there's other paths to play basketball uh, that can open up other doors. So you're being a trailblazer in that area to show people like it ain't over with yet. You can still keep grinding, because there's people in there. What was interesting when I came to Chicago, you remember we was talking to that one guy, and I was like, I was joking around. I was like, shit. He was had a receding hairdo, going bald, whatever. I was like, shit. He making me think that I can lace it up, and whatever. And he was still chasing that silver bullet, trying to get out there and trying to get put on. And granted, I'm just being facetious. I can't do anything. I ain't got no lateral movement. You do one irky jerk, I'm done. And you go by me. But I get up for that contest with him and Taylor, because me and Ron gonna get that. I'm gonna get up for that. I'm gonna be a trader for that. But all jokes aside, you still got to keep pushing forward, and people still want to live their dream. And if you're capable of doing it, then do it. So I think you're setting another precedence of you showing people it's another way around, and don't give up in your dream and keep chasing it. And if it's possible, make it happen. So you know me, I always got your back. Any advice you need, or any wild stories or whatever. Even though I don't believe you, Unc. I don't believe you. But I'm always here as a sounding board. Love you, and wish the best for you. And I know that you're gonna keep pushing forward, because you got that support. You got tons of people in your corner, so it ain't no excuses. Like a lot of people, they don't have anybody, but you've been blessed to have many people that's pulling for you. And even when people see this and we share it, it's gonna be more people pulling for you, whatever. So the world is yours, man. Just go out there and get it. Bring home that chip, man. We count on you. We count on. We want you to put that on your broad shoulders to bring that chip back.
Yeah,
Bring a chip to Western New York.
got to. Love you too, Uncle, for sure.
Uh,
I appreciate
all
that.
right, no problem, man. All right, good people. Let me see. Got some last comments. Congratulations, and keep doing what you're doing. Proud of you. Your focus and skills. Ultra Parker said, "Well said, Karan. Stay positive." Nicole said, "That's right." So you got people believing in you, whatever. And once you got people believing in you, that's when you say to yourself, when you have them conversations and you laying in the bed and you're saying, I got work to do.
Mm-hmm.
I got work to do. I ain't trying to let nobody down. And when when you feel like you have a responsibility and something on your shoulder, you got to rise to the occasion. And I know you're going to rise. I know you're going to rise.
Yeah.
So that being said, people, we appreciate you all for tuning in tonight. Please like and share the video. Keep sharing it, and we'll be back. I got a funny feeling we're gonna come back with Taylor on here once y'all win that championship.
Hey, I say that. But said,
It,
we gonna win the championship. We'll get back on here. We're gonna talk for
I'll be
sure.
back, whatever. And remember, you said you wanted to get your own podcast going, whatever. Gonna work with you on that too, whatever. Because young people got a lot to say. And
Yeah.
hey, we can myself, Herb, we could be that executive directors or whatever the case is. It's a lot of conversations that need to be held with younger people because y'all are the future, and
Sure.
you just need mentorship and the right program set up to kind of help the other people out because right now a lot of people have lost hope in young people, but I know some of y'all are still shining and you shining, nephew, so keep
I
that
appreciate,
going.
I appreciate that.
All right, good people, we out. On to the next one. See y'all next time. Peace.
All
All
right,
right,
people. Y'all be safe.
appreciate y'all. Thank
All
y'all.
right, you're
Pleasure.
welcome.